This is the secret to success. The end. Just kidding. I wouldn't end it there. But I did have to become a detective of my own life to understand what activates my smiling heart. I'll show you how I found the clues. But first, I'd love for you to meet someone. Fake happy. This is where your life looks great on the surface, but inside, it's not genuine, deep happiness. It lacks heart, it lacks meaning and joy. And on the inside, it looks more like this. Has anyone ever worn a fake happy mask over their truth? Fake happy arrived for me in my early 20s. My boyfriend loved to party, so I partied too. And for a brief while, I thought I'd cracked the code to happiness. But it grew old fast. It was directionless, meaningless, pretty selfish, and I just knew something was missing. So I set an intention to seek more, and I started flirting with new possibilities. A few weeks later, there was a job ad in the paper and they were looking for singers. Now, my heart didn't automatically start smiling, but it did do something. It winked at me. So I followed that heart wink and I went to that audition. I caught the train from Adelaide to Melbourne. I don't know why I didn't fly. It took 10 hours and I went to that audition. When I arrived, everyone had sheet music and they were represented by agents, but I had none of that. At the reception desk, they said, "What are you auditioning for? Singing, acting, dancing, or stunts?" Well, I took singing, but I was so curious about stunts. But feeling so green in this new audition space, I nearly didn't ask. But my heart started winking. So I said, "What stunts?" She said, "You need upper body strength and agility." I said, "I used to do gymnastics." And we both agreed I should come back the next day for the stunt audition too. Maybe redeem myself. The audition was familiar and fun, but still challenging. We did rolls and tumbling and chin-ups and backflips, and we also did a little bit of stunt fighting and presenting. I didn't think much of it, and I caught the train back home, but I could not move my body for about 4 days. I was so sore. About 2 months later, I was at work in my corporate job that was definitely activating this guy. I received a phone call. "Kim, we would love for you to be Sarah Connor in the Terminator stunt show at Universal Studios, Japan." Oh my gosh. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. I spent 3 incredible years as a stunt performer in Japan. I was driving boats and jumping off buildings and cracking whips and dressing up in costumes. It was the most incredible fun in the world. Besides being absolutely amazing, I was starting to discover clues on what lights up my smiling heart. I was challenging myself, growing and learning new skills and playing to my strengths. And I was with an incredible bunch of people, united by a mission bigger than ourselves. We were serving people, elevating lives, and bringing joy. It was the best. When I returned to Australia, I decided to become a personal trainer. I wanted to help people feel great, but getting up at 4:30 a.m. in the morning, doing one-on-one sessions with a very small community around me, I started to get lonely and anxious, and my smiling heart, it turned into this. I knew I needed to seek change, so I did what I always do. I set an intention to seek more, and then I started flirting with new possibilities. Not long after, Australia was opening their first trampoline park and they were looking for a manager. And my heart was winking like crazy. Wink, 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 wink. So naturally, I applied. And they rejected me. Childhood wounds. I decided to reply to that rejection letter and thank them. This time I attached my stunt show reel video, which happens to include me jumping on a trampoline. Now this, it activated their heart winks. They gave me an interview and I landed the role. I spent the next decade with my heart activated. I spent the next decade with my heart smiling. I was hiring incredible people, running training, setting up culture, and opening trampoline parks all around the world. I had the best meal of my life in Vietnam, and I even got bitten on the boob by a baby lion cub in South Africa. I'm okay. The role was exciting and I was challenging myself and growing and learning new skills and playing to my strengths. And I was united with incredible people on a mission bigger than ourselves. We were bringing joy and movement and elevating people's lives. I think a theme was arriving. The next chapter of my life, though, it isn't rosy. My family was propelled into the dark and heavy world of grief. Losing a child is something that no one can prepare you for. My smiling heart went completely dark, and I genuinely thought I would never find happiness or joy ever again. It wasn't until a few years later, swimming through my heavy pain and apathy, that a faint heart wink arrived. But my heart was so heavy, so I ignored it. Surprisingly, another heart wink arrived. Could it actually be possible that I could activate my smiling heart again, even while carrying such pain? I set that intention. And I started flirting with this possibility. And then I mustered up all the courage that I had to follow those faint heart winks. They led me to studying positive psychology, writing a book, a program, keynotes, and ultimately tapping back into joy, even while carrying my pain. And now I'm on a mission to help others rediscover their joy too, even while carrying pain. And when I put my detective hat back on, I realized my version of success hasn't changed. I'm still bringing joy and elevating people's lives. It's just the stage and the audience. It looks a little different. And I'm not doing backflips or handstands anymore. Because of that part, I've taken up Zumba quite a lot on the side. So success for me, it's not about titles or status or money. It's about activating this. And knowing what truly lights it up is where becoming a detective of your own life comes in pretty handy. So now I know, whatever life throws at me, the incredible highs or the devastating lows, I have the clues on what it takes to activate my smiling heart. And when it's not lit up and good old fake happy arrives, well, I set that intention and start flirting with new possibilities. And when the heart winks arrive, I follow them because I know they lead me to this. And when this is smiling and truly activated, that is when I know I've won.